I am the Gadget Guru, Andy Parr, and you're watching thevog.net. I'm here at Felicia Motorsports in New Smyrna Beach, Florida. With me is DSJR70. You know him affectionately as Don from thevog.net. We have two bikes in front of us. We have a 2011 Victory Vegas and a 2010 Harley-Davidson Wide Glide. Now, this is Victory's version of the Pepsi Challenge. Basically, Victory has provided both of these bikes. Both of these bikes are supposedly pure stock. Now, while I don't want to get into prices on these, they are fairly comparable. They're going to change city to city, month to month, but fairly comparable. Now, the purpose of this is to get riders, such as Don, to try these bikes back to back, to be able to give a good, fair, honest comparison. And Don, you just took them both for a ride. What is your initial thought?
They're different bikes. Both of them are really nice. I prefer the Victory over the Harley. But
now let's preface this. You've owned a number of Vegas models. Is that correct?
Yeah, 4 of them. Currently 3.
How long of a ride did you give the Dyna Wide Glide?
I'd say about an hour and a half.
So you have a pretty good impression of what it feels like.
Yeah, when I first pulled out of here, I was going to just make a U-turn and bring it back, but I figured I'd give it a chance, and the bike grew on me as I went.
How do you compare the ride of the Vegas against the Wide Glide?
The Wide Glide starts out extremely rough. At low speeds, it'll chatter your fillings out, but when you get up highway speeds, anything over 45, it starts smoothing out, and it rides rather nice on the highway.
Now, comparing that to the Vegas, you have a lot of miles on this, and you rode one of the new ones with the new transmission. How did that compare to the Dyna Wide Glide?
The Dyna actually has a better transmission. It shifts more solid. The wider clutch on it makes it feel a lot easier to pull back. It really is a nice bike. There's some things I would like to take off of it and put on my Vegas.
Okay, like for example, what do you see on the Wide Glide that you'd like to have on the Vegas?
First, the cable management. They do all their cables nice and neat on there. The engine, I know this is not an 8-ball model, but if you look at the 8-ball Vegas, you have 3 different color blacks on the engine. The Harley motor's all the same black, all the same texture. It's really nice there.
Let's take a look at the riding position. First, for proper reference, how tall are you?
About 5'8".
Sitting on the Vegas versus sitting on the Wide Glide?
The Wide Glide is definitely wide. It's very uncomfortable when you're sitting at a stoplight because your leg is right up against the engine.
Is that because of the wider seat or the position of where the seat is on the engine?
Actually, it's just the tranny. The casing on the tranny is so big, it sticks out from the side of the bike a lot. The seats are pretty comparable in width when your legs are in the up position.
How was the seat comfort?
On par with the Vegas, which is really not all that good. The riding position on the Wide Glide, it has the forward controls on it like the old Vegas had. And I don't really like the forward controls, but we could always change that. I mean, that's an easy fix.
How was the braking compared from one bike to the other?
Well, I haven't been shy about that. The Vegas has the worst front brakes that I've ever had on a bike. So the Harley is an improvement. It's not much of an improvement on the front braking. Overall braking, it's probably about even. The Harley was a little more stable at high speeds. It didn't have the shifting back and forth. I think it has a little wider of a front tire, which may help that.
Did you notice anything about engine heat between one bike and another?
Not really. When it was 42 degrees when we were doing the test ride. So
the engine heat felt good?
Yeah. The Harley, I felt it more coming from underneath me, and the Victory is on the right-hand side. You feel a lot of the heat. Now,
how about the sound? Now, both of these are stock. So apples to apples, what's your opinion of the sound of each bike?
Well, nothing sounds like a Harley, even with stock pipes.
Okay, let's take a break for a minute. We're going to listen to both the Victory Vegas and the Harley-Davidson Wide Glide. Here's the Victory Vegas. Now, here's the Harley Wide Glide. Well, as you just heard, there is a noticeable difference between the two stock bikes. One thing I have to ask you, you notice when you start the Harley, it's like thunder. It explodes right out from under you. But whether it's the Vegas or any other model, is it just me, or do you hear it kind of a whining and then it starts?
Yeah, definitely the Harley sounds a lot better starting up. You get that thud and just sounds tough. And with the Vegas, it does whine a little bit. You get more of a starter drag on it. But I don't know what causes that.
You have two different types of speedometers. The Vegas has a fork mount speedometer. The Dyna Wide Glide is mounted on the tank. What's your opinion?
The fork mount one wins hands down. You're driving down the road, you can't see your tank. The Vegas, you could actually just glance down, see what speed you're going, and it's really nice to be able to see it right there.
If you look at the dash of the Harley, you see the knob. Basically, you can put your key in, start it, and then remove your key. What did you think of that?
I love that feature. It's great not to have to keep your key on a keychain, where on the Vegas, if you put it on a keychain, it just slaps up against the side of the cheese wedge and ends up ruining it. So you have to run around with no keychain and then lose your key a few times.
Now, does the Harley have fork locks?
Actually, looking at it, yes, it does.
So basically, like most other motorcycles, you turn it to the left, you lock it, and your forks are locked.
Yeah, correct. That's what it looks like.
Now, the Vegas doesn't have it, nor do I think very few victories, only the Vision. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people don't like the fork locks. I've never had a problem with them. They've always unlocked on me, so I don't know why they don't put it on stock, especially for a $20,000 bike.
Now, finally, before we wrap up, little things like the kickstand placement. Did one stand out over the other?
Yeah, the kickstand on the Wide Glide is almost impossible to get down if you have boots on. The Vegas sits really nice. You can just put your heel back there and get to it. Also, the swing arms. The Vegas has a really nice swing arm on it, and the Wide Glide looks like something I built in my shop. But it's functional.
But you built some nice things in your shop.
Yeah, I built a few nice things.
Okay, any other parting words for either bike?
Both of them are great bikes. I still prefer the Vegas. Yeah, the Victory, to me, in whole, is a better bike when it's all put together. The Harley does stand out in a few areas where it's really good, but not enough in the whole package.
So if you were going to buy one of these today, it would be?
The Vegas.
Surprise! Well, Don, I want to thank you very much for your time. For the Vog.net, I'm the Gadget Guru, Andy Parr, and I'll see you on the road and online.